Thanks for the support as a channel member, Christopher Hoffman. Right, folks, just a little public service announcement. Channel update-y kind of stuff, I guess. As of today, I am doing the whole self-isolation thing. So if after today there's not videos for a little while, that's why. At the moment, I still don't feel unwell, but I have got a raised temperature. I've got some stomach issues that we just don't need to get into. And you know how you feel like the day or before you start to get poorly? I'm there. So I'll continue trying to make videos for as long as I'm well enough to do it. And it might be that I don't get sick at all. But if, like I say, if I miss a few days, that's why. The best thing to do is follow me on Twitter, because I'll update you on there with what's going on. So you'll get warning if you have to come up with your own entertainment. Play Scrabble. Is Words with Friends still a thing? Play Words with Friends. I can do that. I haven't done that for years. Please don't send me Words with Friends friend requests. Hello and welcome to part 56 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of our second season in League Two. We're away against Blackpool and at home against Wimbledon. There's nothing that's happened since you were last with me, because I finished the last episode at this exact point. 3 o'clock, Saturday afternoon, first day of the new season. So we are still officially trying to complete the signing of Adrian Chapman, the attacking midfielder that we need to complete the menagerie of signings we put together over the course of the transfer special yesterday. The squad is looking, I would say, looking pretty good though, backup attacking midfielder aside. We are going to be trying to start the season with the gegenpress we ended last season with. I actually had a little look on the... in fact, we can just kill this one for a second. I had a look on the assistant manager recommendation, and yeah, he's still recommending a tiki-taka and not the gegenpress. I'm just going to go back to training this one again, because this is the other thing I'm considering using. I'm ignoring his recommendation, apart from the fact, as you can see, we are training a tiki-taka 4-2-3-1 as well. But that's not what we're going to be using. We're going to be using this. It seemed to work okay towards the end of last season, although fiddling with it has put everybody in the wrong positions. So let's just move everybody back round to where they're supposed to be. So this is the team for the first day of the new season. Williams in goal, and very new look back four. Well, not very new look. Williams, Lavelle and Webster are still there, but they're joined by Championship regular. I still don't understand how we've got him. Joel Barnes at left back. O'Driscoll partners Lavelle in the defence and is joined by Alex Webster at right back. Broadbent and McWilliams both still there from last year in central midfield. Broadbent he's been here a while now. This is his third season at the club. I might have to start looking at all-time appearance records. 153 games is the all-time appearance record. Obviously, Matthew Bond breaking the all-time record goal scorer thing before getting unceremoniously released in the summer. But there's, I don't think he's going to get there anytime soon. But he's probably closest of the current crop, although of course returning Graham Dodds has a season under his belt as well from way back when. He's going to be starting up front, supported by 3 new loanees who look a little bit special. This is our big issue last year, that we couldn't attack for Toffee, and I'm hoping Goldie, Palmer and Berry, who sound like a band, I like that, or a firm of accountants, Goldie, Palmer and Berry, I think they're going to be awesome as an attacking midfield triumvirate. Let's get into the game. We are going with a positive mentality on our gegenpress. Are we? Hold on. Are we? Well, he's not told us to change it, so we will. It's a little bit... We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves by doing that, I think. But the media have predicted a third place finish, which in this league is automatic promotion. Did that have a big red mark behind Webster? He's got a soul patch. I don't see why it would. But it looked like it did. There's no way of checking now because we don't get that bit. I mean, it might just be my colour blindness playing up, but I'm interested to see why there's a big gap behind Webster, other than the fact that I think he's probably playing on an attacking instruction, but that shouldn't leave huge holes behind him. Oh, apparently, and we do get that. So there's minor issues there. Why is there a major issue there? Surely Goldie has got that covered. Low positive influence. Graham Goldie will frequently come into this area, either with the ball himself or to find possession. So why is that area, when he's on an attack instruction, why is that area red? This area, oh, that's a high negative. What? High negative influence, but we've got a high positive influence. So Graham Dodds is going to drift out that side. Why is he going to do that? Why isn't he going to drift the other way? Where do traits live on here now? I don't even know where to look for like player traits. Attributes, is it on there? runs down the ball with the right. So that's why, because he's going to spend a lot of time drifting out onto the right wing. We need to keep an eye on that. And maybe Goldie is going to have to be able to play as an inside forward to cover some of that gap that Dodds is going to leave behind. The match is still going on. I could have thought about all this before the season started. Alas, I did not. But I am hoping that what is going on here? It's doing this again. I can't stand it. I cannot look at that like that. Go back. Much better. It was hideous. Ugh. Right, Blackpool with the throw. We need to... I do like the blue shirts, red shorts combo from the new 3D kits that we've had on for the last couple of days. They look very snazzy. And Palmer is in here. And Palmer, trying to make something of this move, finds Goldie. And there is Graham Goldie. It's a goal on his debut. With a name like Goldie, he's always going to score goals, isn't he? He's spelling the goal part of Goldie wrong. But either way, it's a good goal. That's what we want him to be doing, coming in and filling in that gap. Broadbent playing very well, slotting back into the deep-lying playmaker role that we know he can do so well. He really can dictate a game from there and be in there for the crunching tackles. So if Broadbent can be back to his place, they've got Savin in goal. The goalkeeper that we had on our bench all last year and then sold to Blackpool for 20 grand, the best goalkeeper name in the world, Savin, is on their bench. He's in their goal, not on their bench. Now that's the first goal we've ever seen him concede, because the only game he played for us last year, he kept a clean sheet in. Our right back has been done over a little bit there, but Williams manages to keep hold of it from the shot from range. We've had a very bright start to this game. Dominating possession, had more shots than them, looked good going forward. The one worry so far is Graham Dodds isn't quite looking like the 30-goal a season striker he was before he departed. But then that was 7 years ago that he came to us as a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed 20-year-old, fresh out of the Manchester United Academy. He's now spent 6 years at Cambridge. It's a little bit different. Not the university either. The sorry excuse for a football team. So guard against complacency. We'll give it 15 minutes, and if we're still winning, we're going to drop back to a balanced mentality. McWilliams with in-swinging corner. O'Driscoll's there. It falls to Palmer. Back to Berry, who shoots from range, and it just whistles over. It was a great effort from long range from Berry, who is our new right winger. The other good thing about both Berry and Goldie is they can both play out. They can both play up front if need be. If Dodds doesn't work out, they can both move further forward. But here's Barnes with all his championship experience. It's a championship level cross as well. But Berry can't keep his header down, and it does go over again. We've had some chances in this game, and I hope we don't end up living to regret not converting more of them. We have now dropped back down to the balanced mentality in a game that we were expected to lose, and we're instead being very competitive in. But we don't really want to drop any further back than that. Graham Dodds has had a terrible first game back. Right, there's lots of arguments for who we could put up front here. Berry isn't perfect at it. Goldie, is he better at it? Not really. So we're going to bring on one of the strikers who was here last year. I think we'll bring on Robinson, who I think would rather be an advanced forward, which might, to be fair, might fit into this system a little bit better. And then we can take off Berry and bring on Norman. Norman is very much one to keep an eye on for the future. Another one, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, fresh out of the Manchester United Academy. He's like Graham Dodds from 6 years ago, only he's a winger, and we expect great things from him. Robinson with the free kick from deep. Lavelle with the header just over. We are still peppering their goal with shots, but we're just not quite able to apply the cutting-edge finish. And how familiar does that sound from last year? I really don't want to go back to those dark days of last year. Palmer, I would love to take off, but we don't have anybody who can come on and play in his role. There's an argument probably that we bring on Washburn and play him as a ball-winning midfielder and at the back of the midfield there. I think that's a pretty strong argument. However, we need to remember to cancel it if we concede a goal from this free kick that's currently going on. But if we slot him in there for now, and then we want to leave him doing that, but we could maybe make him a support player, and he can then push on a little bit further forward like that, just to make sure we still have a little bit of attacking oomph. But Washburn in there, that feels like a good idea. Like I said, as long as we don't concede here, we didn't. So now we're going to drop back to a cautious mentality and hope that going a little bit too defensive towards the end of the game doesn't come back and bite us. Cross comes in. We've been bitten. Oh, and it was unpleasant. That's why people have asked many times over the years why I don't drop back to a more conservative system when we're 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go. That's why, because no matter how many times I concede late goals not doing it, the time I do it and we still concede the late goal, that counts for so much more in my mind. And we're now going to end up losing the game because I fiddled when I didn't need to, because I listened to... Sometimes I make the mistake of listening too much to the comment section. You wouldn't believe it to watch all my videos that I do read and listen, but I really do. I ignore some of it, like telling me I'm doing it wrong, but sometimes I try and take the advice on board, and sometimes that advice backfires, like it has here today. I guess the one thing we can come away with a smile on our face about is that we were expected to come here and lose, but then at the same time we're also expected to get promoted this year, so feels like a game we probably could have won. Who knows? Let's go play Wimbledon and hopefully get our first win of the season. There we go. Bourne now has double Chapman. Adrian Chapman, a 23-year-old attacking midfielder who can also play in central midfield, is in. He comes in from Cardiff on a free transfer, formerly of Southampton. Potential to be a good League One central midfielder in the future, which is a nice young player to be able to bring in as a backup option, a rotation option. And if we now have a little look at our squad depth, I think that squad is now finished. What I don't know that we've got anywhere in that squad is a real outstanding superstar. But I think we've got a lot of solid players in a lot of key positions. And that might end up being more important when all is said and done. Perhaps this isn't the year for a Coots or a Quinn to be an absolute superstar standout. Perhaps this is the year we just have a half-decent team who grind out results. That might be nice. One other piece of exciting news, Gary Mitchell. Do you remember Gary Mitchell from 4 seasons ago when he was good? He hasn't played since the first season in the National League, really, but he's been sticking around for long enough that he is now homegrown at club, which means he can sit on our bench every week. He's not really good enough to get anywhere near this team. As you can see, he's way down the pecking order, but better than any of those random youth players that we were using before. So we can now actually have a full bench of players who are sort of first team quality. The other thing we've done, in addition to signing Chapman, Hayden Hackney has gone out to Partick Thistle on loan for the season. He wasn't in my plans. He never really started regularly last year. Only started 5 games all year. He was earning over £2,000 a week, and Partick Thistle offered to pay all of his wages. So it just seemed like an easy decision to let him leave, all of which means we've still got a lot of spare budget. But remember, we're looking at FFP more than budget. So we've got currently spending 27.5 a week on player wages. Does that mean loads of our wages don't even count towards that? I need to look at this in more detail. So who is exempt from it? So he's exempt. Oh, we've got loads of players who are exempt because they're homegrown in the nation, maybe? Loads of exempt players now. Oh, in actual fact, that changes everything. We can spend another 10 grand on salary. Expect loads more free transfers to come in before the next episode. So with all that going on, no changes to the actual team that, for the majority of the game, until I started fiddling, played so well against Blackpool. Hopefully they'll put in another good performance today against Wimbledon. If not, then we can start to fiddle with things and change things around a bit. Once again, apparently we're underdogs. I don't know how the game can... I mean, if you saw the transfer special yesterday, we got a new sponsorship deal for £160 a year. That's the level of reputation we're working with here. But somehow the media think we're favourites for automatic promotion, but underdogs in every individual match. I don't even understand how that works. And now Webster's picked up an injury and we have nobody who can come on for him. So Mark Sheffield's going to have to come on and play right back, which is very far from ideal. We'll drop him back a little bit and we'll push Barnes further forward. We're going to swap all of these instructions around. So Goldie can drop back a little bit. Berry can push further forward. And then we'll swap these two over so that we have him doing that there and him doing that there. So Mark Sheffield out of position, isn't really expected to do any attacking. He just needs to sit there for the game being a fullback. At least he should be able to defend. McWilliams now with a corner. It was a decent corner, but nobody quite able to get in and attack the ball. As you can see, there's nobody in Abbey Lawn again. I wonder if there's anybody at this end. We can't even see the seats, so we don't know if there's anyone at the other end just yet. Barnes has dilly-dallied on the ball a little bit too long there, but did get away with it. That's that championship experience. We have got a packed-out seated area at that end. I still don't understand what this glitch is and why it's happening. Berry did quite well to get the ball under control, but was just intercepted by the Wimbledon defender. Mark Sheffield is in here. He shouldn't be attacking. Berry finds Dodds. Dodds trying to turn, can't quite turn in the area, but Berry picks up the ball. Dodds is there, and Graham Dodds has his first goal back at Abbey Lawn after 6 years away, slumming it at one of the worst football teams in the universe. I shouldn't pick on him too much. We've obviously got what's his face in midfield who came through Northampton, and Northampton's even worse. McWilliams was a Northampton player for years. Dodds only did 6 years at Cambridge. McWilliams was at Northampton much longer than that. We are trying to cleanse Dodds, and as he gets the Cambridge out of his system, we will expect more and more goals from him. But that was a very encouraging little finish. 1-0 to us as we approach half-time, still hovering around the playoff positions, which is exactly where we want to be. And we've had a decent start to this season, as long as we don't find a way to throw this game away again in the second half like we did at Blackpool. I'm not going to fiddle today. I'm going to leave things as they are. We're at home in front of enormous numbers of Bourne fans. Mark Sheffield has now picked up an injury, as has Barnes. Are we not allowed fullbacks this year? Is that what's happening here? The 1 year I don't sign 5 fullbacks for each side, we get 3 of them injured in our second game of the season, which is ridiculous. We have nobody on the... I guess Washbourne can play left back, so he can come on for Barnes. We may as well then stick Mark Sheffield over there, who's injured, but we can't take him off. McWilliams can play right wing back. Probably should have gone back there when we made the initial change. Have we got a central midfielder? No, there you go. That's why we didn't move him back there, because I knew we didn't have a central midfielder on the bench. So, what can we do? We're just going to leave things there for a few minutes while I work out what the best thing to do is. Mark Sheffield across to Broadbent. Lovely big ball forward from Broadbent again. Dodds flicks it onto absolutely nobody, though. He needs to... Like I say, he's looking for a little bit of sharpness back in a Bourne shirt. He's not quite looking like the same Graham Dodds we had before just yet. That's terrible for Mark Sheffield. Outstanding from Broadbent, though, who's having another very, very good game. Plays it into Dodds. Dodds is in, and that's a lovely finish from Graham Dodds. We have a hero back at Bourne, everybody. His name is Graham Dodds. He wears the number 9 shirt. He's a lovely, lovely man. What a goal. And this is him, and as I'm saying, not even back at his best for us just yet. But that was a lovely, lovely finish. 2-0 to us on 70 minutes now. I still haven't looked to see how many people we've actually got at the ground. It's an attendance of 1,800, although to be fair, 1,400 of them are from Wimbledon. So we're at home, but it feels like we're away. Dodds picks the ball up on the right-hand side. I think he's won himself a free kick and got their left-back sent off there, which is... more excellence from Dodds. It's the Dodds and Broadbent show, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. Wimbledon now down to 10 men, and they've got a free kick just on the edge of the area. What's this? We're supposed to be the ones who are attacking. We want a free kick. They get given it. Williams makes the save. They have a cheese man in their defence, but luckily we managed to get in with a crunching tackle. Crunching cheese. I'm delirious with this fever, clearly. Williams collects from the corner, and I'm going to try not to say anything else stupid before I scare you all away. Mark Sheffield still needs to come off. We still don't have anyone who can come on for him. I think McWilliams has to go back there, but nobody can go into that central midfield position. I guess Palmer could drop back there, and we could maybe go with 2 up top. We are 2-0 up now, so I guess that makes sense. So stick McWilliams back there, Palmer back there. Why is Washbourne the one that is going forward? Because I've done this wrong. Hold on. So he's going to go there, then he's going to go there, him there, and then he can go out there and he can go up top. That works for me. I can live with that. And then we're just going to drop down to... I said I wasn't going to fiddle, but we are dropping down to a balanced mentality again. But at the same time, dropping a little bit of praise just to fire them up. Enjoying the old 4-2-4 again. Graham Dodds knows what's what with a 4-2-4. This is what he spent his entire previous Bourne career playing in. But there we go. We have won our first game of the season. We won it very well as well. We look like a decent side already, which, bearing in mind the amount of players we brought in, we're only going to get better as dynamics settles in, hopefully. But let's just see how badly injured all of these fullbacks are. So Webster is going to be out for 2 months or 6 weeks with a hamstring strain. which, yes, that's definitely frustrating. Mark Sheffield, 11 days. Joel Barnes, 2 weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of fullbacks I manage to put together for the next game. But that sounds to me like a problem for future Kev. So we'll let him worry about that when we come back. Hopefully on Saturday, on Sunday even for Bourne, isn't it? Hopefully we'll be back on Sunday with something around here somewhere. We might even play Cambridge because I've dissed them so much in this video. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.